do it.
Navi's turn to ban. Navi's turn to ban.
Ladies and gentlemen, on day 4, Valve said there will be blood, and there will be blood. 6 teams are going home, only 10 will survive the day, and within 2 more days, only 8 will remain. Those 8 will go to Key Arena. We already know 2 of their names. EG and Vici Gaming have punched their tickets straight to the main event, and if they do well today, straight into the top 2 directly seated there, but even they are not quite there yet. They're close. They can smell it, they can taste it, and so too can these teams. They're on the cusp. A win here for either team guarantees they move on to Phase 3, and a loss means they're in danger, especially for Newbee. They come into this match 7-7. Navi 7-6. They'll be playing Newbee and then Alliance. Newbee's final match of the group stage, and oh boy, could you ask for a tougher opponent than Navi, the reigning, well, not reigning, but the reigning runners-up from last year, a team that always seems to put it together when it counts. Well, some thought this would be the year when they fell short. We'll find out soon. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Luminous and Lumi. The draft is getting underway, so let's talk Dota, buddy.
Yeah, I think for the teams, they're not really worried about who is going to beat who. All they really care about is just winning the one match. And if you have 2 games today, you win 1 match at a time and then go for the second game. So without further ado, let's actually get into the draft. We have Razor and Enigma being first drafted up for Navi, and Newbee's going to go back for old classic, the Bat Rider. So we see a lot of the Chinese teams use Razor quite well, and when I say Chinese team, I particularly mean IG. I do believe Vici Gaming use it quite well as well. Yeah, DK I would say doesn't use it very often. LGD tends to prefer the Viper and the Lifestealer as far as their cores go. So yeah, I would say those are the 2 main Razor teams from China. But I feel that when the Western team use it, the effect hasn't been as successful. I think EG is the particular counterexample to that because they've been winning a lot lately. But I'm very surprised to see Navi pick up Razor here this early. But it is the kind of the tournament flavor, and I imagine it's going to be Dendy that's going to be handling it. Yeah, and as you mentioned, is in some ways maybe not a full-on block pick, but a hero that Newbee have had quite a bit of success with. So, well, with that being said, I think the big hero that got ignored on the stage has to be the Faceless Void. Something that Newbee have not preferred. They've only run it, at least in their last 8 games, 1 time. Or actually, no, sorry, that's their last 10 games. Some of the other teams like the Void a lot more. EG is probably the team that I think uses it the most effectively because, well, Universe is a beast. Team Liquid has been winning a lot of games with it too. Yeah, so they run the Void and the Tide. Those are the 2 keys. And well, that's the other hero that got ignored, Lumi, is the Tide. Something Chow8's run quite a bit of, but they had a crack at it, and they said, no, we don't want the Tide, we want the Bat Rider instead. And, well, with that being said, let's see how the draft develops from here. It's a Panda ban from Newbee. 5 seconds remaining. Yeah, I think they tend to want to have, I feel like with their drafts, they always want to have teamfight supremacy. They do, and they also want to have pushing supremacy. I think in this particular game, Shadow Shaman was such an early pickup. What you really want to do with Shadow Shaman is drop a ward and essentially guarantee yourself a tower. There's very little ways to actually defend the tower, and one of the few ways is actually to blink in as a Brewmaster, clap, split, and suddenly the Brewmasters chase you away, and then, you know, the rest of the heroes could just clean up the wards. So it's a fairly smart and targeted ban to take away that. At the same time, I think this is actually a very dangerous time for Navi to pick up the Void if you want to go for that pick, because if you have Void, Razor, and Enigma as your early counter defense against Rasta push, you could just lose all your outer towers very quickly. The only thing you could do with that kind of a draft is really counter push with the Enigma, but your tower defense is pretty mediocre, at least until you get something like a Blink or a BKB on Enigma, which is long after Shadow Shaman has started going after towers. For looking at Newbee more as far as what's still available, they haven't really tended to run that many hard carries. We've seen a lot of heroes along the lines of Doom, who's banned, Weaver, Templar Assassin. They have run the Ember Spirit on occasion, though I don't think they excel with it the way that IG does. Lifestealer, I think the other hero to keep an eye on is Alchemist as well. Something that they have taken mid for Mu in the past, and I don't expect we'll see an Alliance-style safe lane farming Alch, but if they feel they want a hero who can do a combination of fighting and early pressure, then Alchemist may fit the bill. They're also Dire, so if I'm Newbee, I'm definitely looking towards someone that can help me take Roche early. That includes Bristleback, Alchemist, maybe a support that can build an early medallion. They already have the Shadow Shaman, and that's going to be an area of contest for both teams. Newbee really prioritizes taking Roche more so than most teams. Shadow Shaman has a significantly higher win rate on the Dire side, and that's particularly due to the fact that you can just go into the Roshan pit almost any time you want after level 6. So there is that. I'm very surprised that we don't see a Scav Rage picked, because, you know, definitely a fairly popular pick. But Scarif Mage's win rate has been dipping quite a bit. Day 1
he's actually like below 50%. The Heroes won like 45% of his games. So
yeah, day 1 was like 60-something%. Day 2 was like 16%. It was like a drastic drop. So either people have been figuring out, or maybe teams are just over spamming that hero. And it's good to see that they're not picking it here. Not to say that it won't fit in this particular draft, but just work with what you know.
Na'Vi will remove the Luna, and they also ban out Banana's Enchantress. I think one of Banana's strongest heroes, and more importantly, suits Newbee's style, which is not a full 5-man push, I would say. They're not quite like Vici Gaming, where they really like to group and force towers as a full team, but more, they like to find pickoffs and then push on the back of those. And for that, Enchantress is fantastic. And they'll go back for the Void, a hero that Na'Vi did ignore. A little bit surprising because of how much Void can just affect the way you play, but they have the Venge, one of the better supports to deal with the Chrono.
Not just that, Venge is going to be great at cancelling that lasso, kind of disrupting any Shackle coming out from Shadow Shaman as well. So I'm somewhat surprised that Faceless Void picked into the Venge. At the same time though, you only have one Venge and you have to deal with so many other
10 seconds.
And the Chrono may catch multiple heroes as well.
Exactly. Back to the Enchantress real fast. I think if you're playing on the Radiant side, banning Enchantress is always a safe thing to do, because obviously Enchantress, she could just level Untouchable early, and then you could go into the Roshan Pit and take that for free as well. So nice targeted ban coming out from Na'Vi, but I really like Newbee's draft. They're very well balanced. And here comes that tide. Does Newbee play the safe lane Faceless Void, or do they play off lane?
I'm thinking it's going to be off lane this game. They could run the move Bat Rider, but to me, it's more of a Shao 8 special.
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at an Enigma here, not a hero that's likely to be pressuring the Bat from level 1, which means he probably will get some early levels of the Bat Rider, and can also be a nuisance leech experience in the jungle. So I'm looking towards a safe lane Void. If that's the case, it'll be in Hao's hands. It could go the other way, though. They could run it off lane, they could pick up something else for Hao, and if they want to do that, I'm thinking a hero that is... You want a ranged here, ideally, to work well with the Chronosphere. Maybe somebody like a Weaver. Na'Vi don't really have low cooldown crowd control. They have Black Hole and Ravage. Beyond that, you're just looking at Malefice and Magic Missile, both of which a Lincoln Sphere can deal with. And Ancient Apparition Weaver is a very potent combo, so I think it could go either way. It depends on how Newbee wants to roll this. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
I think Morphling also gets a nod here.
Yes.
Even though they are so late game oriented, the fact that you have a Shadow Shaman and just high over your early to mid game, it's pretty good.
Is that too greedy? If they go for Morphling here, they don't have that much counter push.
Well, the thing is, what push does Na'Vi represent, right? It's just Enigma. So,
for now. Yeah. I guess that's the key, is let's see what this 5th pick is going to be.
Yeah.
Na'Vi is expecting offlane Void, though. They actually banned the TA, which I don't think is really a good pick here. It's nice for securing Roshan with Shadow Shaman, but the Void TA combo, to me, I've seen at least 6 or 7 games with it, and inevitably, they end up stepping on each other's toes, because TA just doesn't have good attack range.
Yeah, maybe Na'Vi's just more worried about the early to mid game and not necessarily the team fight. Because it doesn't matter if Faceless Void chronos the TA or TA, because they secure Roshan 2 to 3 times, they have knocked down every outer tower. At that point, it doesn't really matter. So I think maybe that's the ban.
Are you afraid of TA though? You have Razor. Razor just destroys TA in lane.
That would I would have to agree.
The only thing I'm thinking is maybe they're looking to run a safe lane Razor.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, they are. They go for the Ember, so that explains it. If they want to run the Ember mid, TA can give Ember with his 1 base armor some problems, to say the least.
Okay, so unsure what the lanes are, because earlier you were mentioning Shao 8 Bat, safe lane Faceless Void, and I think that's actually what Na'Vi wants as well, because Tidehunter against a Faceless Void, Tide could walk all over that melee carry, so...
What else? What's an option here for Newbee? If, let's say they run the offlane Void, the solo mid Bat, you're looking at an offlane Tidehunter, a pretty passive laning stage from these supports. Venge, Enigma, they can go for some ganks, and Puppy does like to gank more than other junglers. I would say on average he tends to get more active quicker, but they're not going to gank from level 1. So, well, what are we looking at then?
I'm actually thinking of a solo mid, because if you put a Bat Rider mid against Ember Spirit, Bat doesn't do enough physical damage to really push Ember out of the lane, and essentially just trading farm. Normally trading farm against a Bat Rider is a bad thing, because he gets a quick link, but Ember is one of those heroes that could turn the mid game around just simply by ganking around. We see a lot out of that from Ferrari when IG picks it.
They don't really. They actually have decent lockdown for Ember though. That's the one thing about this Ember pick is often you see Ember picks and it's just like I feel teams are not respecting the hero's mobility, but they have Chronosphere, Blink Hacks, Shackles, and Lasso. So I think Newbee, it's always hard to lock down Ember, but this is almost as good as it gets, really.
Well, the Shaman Blink is not guaranteed. Bad Rider is going to get delayed.
Okay. I think this is a mid-Timber.
Yeah. I like this quite a bit because you cannot give Ember a free reign in the lane. And sure, this hero doesn't add more kind of lockdown for that Ember. I think simply zoning him out of the lane and just out harassing him is the way to go.
It also gives them more damage in the Chronosphere, and that's something else Newbee have to keep in mind is we've seen a lot of teams just kind of pick a void, but not pick around the void, and this is a pick around the void as well.
Also, with that said, though, the Flame Guard for Ember Spirit, it blocks magic damage, and Timbersaw is about that pure damage. So it should have an easy matchup. Although with that said, also, in the mid lane, you don't have a lot of trees to work around.
That's
Whirling Drift does not give you pure damage if you don't cut down trees, so I'm not sure if it's going to work the way it's intended.
Now that also being said, Newbee's best gank early on is going to be Chilling Touch, and Chilling Touch is blocked by the Flame Guard.
Yes.
So if they don't go when he's got a level 1 shield, if they let him get to level 3, at that point you're looking at 150 magic damage blocked, which is at least the first volley or two of attacks. Well, with that being said, Lumi, we get underway on a very big day for Dota 2 fans everywhere. The International 4 Phase 2 wraps up today, folks. 6 teams go home. Only 10 survive. And with that being said, we introduce the teams now. On the Radiant side, we'll have Na'Vi, 7-6, with a game to give. If they win at least one of 2, their second opponent will be Alliance. They will at least move on as one of the 10 teams. We've got Funnick playing the Tidehunter, Kuroki playing your Vengeful Spirit, Dendi will be handling the Ember, and down towards the bottom lane, Havost goes on the Razor. Meanwhile, starting mid, but probably going jungle, will be Puppy on the Enigma, saving for Sentry Wards.
Oh, looks like we're going to see a little bit of first blood attempt. Havost scouts them out, but there is 2 boots first on Newbee side. Xiao is going to be handling the Bat Rider. We have Hao playing the carry Faceless Void. Moo's going to be handling the Timbersaw. Is that the Ice set? I think it is. Banana playing the Shadow Shaman with boots first. And last but not least, Shansheng on the Ancient Apparition. Looks like a little bit of D-War action. Yeah, they scouted out a ward. It should be easy to ward. So nice little bit of early lead going the way of Team Newbee.
Yeah, this is quite important for them as Shadow Shaman, Ancient Apparition. I wouldn't say they want to roam, because they definitely want to get their level 6, but they are a very scary roaming duo. If they get off a Shackle with Chilling Touch, you're going to die. So not having that vision means that Puppy is going to be playing a bit more scared, assuming he goes to the jungle. He's starting top right now, but I expect we are going to see him rotate. For me, he's really the hero to keep an eye on for Na'Vi here. And, well, let's see where he goes. Denies the creeps, and yeah, he'll go heal up and then head straight into the
fairly standard play as Enigma. But
no EG dual lane, off lane Enigma shenanigans. Not really up against very much aggressive jungle early on.
So it's going to be a mid Faceless Void dual lane up against Ember Spirit.
Well, let me tell you, Lumi, Na'Vi are not expecting a mid Void, because nobody expects a mid Void. It happens on occasion, but it's never something like, okay, this Void's probably going.
Oh, here's the kicker. Nobody expects a mid Void because the mid Void's really bad. Because, I say that though. Look at that first hit bash, and then he's getting beat down. 3 hits, he's down to half HP.
It's really not bad. He's got 5 armor and a poor man's shield against the 1 armor Ember, and he's got higher base damage.
Yeah, Dendi rushing for the quick bottle normally does quite well against most other solo mid, but I think in this particular matchup, a poor man's shield start will be a lot more effective for him.
The bigger thing for Newbee is that they get the Timber versus Tide. Even if this mid lane goes a bit worse, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Because Timber is going to, well, not completely crush Tide, but he is going to have a very good time, whereas Void would not.
I mean, is it that bad actually for the Tide?
No, I think Tide still does pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, he spins, you spin.
Timber will also do well in this matchup.
It's just both people farming, right? And I'd rather have a farm Tide, to be completely honest. Like quick blink, quick arcanes, quick.
I guess the way Newbee are looking at it is the Void's really their setup. He doesn't need to be their hard carry for now. Maybe later on he takes over, how well, but for the mid game, the Timber can be the one dishing out the damage.
Oh, Shansheng is
Sangsheng about to get spotted out here by Kuro. Walks around the trees. He's got a stun available. Not tossing it out just yet. The Bat's coming in. It is 3-on-2. They are not going to want to engage too aggressively here. Just throwing out a plasma field. Simple harassment for now, but no real pursuit as of yet.
That was a good harass, hitting down the Ancient Apparition to about a half health. He's out of regen after this Tango, so I think Navi's just doing just fine, and that's not counting in Puppey.
They're actually the thing that concerns me for Newbee is they're not doing anything to the Enigma. They've gone aggressive tri-lane, but they've left him alone. They did place the Magic Bush, but that really doesn't shut down Enigma.
Here comes the haste ring going on the mid lane here. How's gonna get a Magic Missile to face? He jumps, Magic Missile.
Too far to dive, too far.
Just a little bit of token harass.
But yeah, like Enigma can just farm these two camps and pretty much be comfortable with that. He won't get, he's not complete free farm Enigma, but
well, here
it's
comes
good
the
enough.
Smoke. Yeah, Newbie gotta put a stop to that. I completely agree with your sentiment. The problem is, if you do a 2-man smoke gank into the enemy jungle, what do? Shackle and then you Chilling Touch yourself and right click. They don't really do that much damage. They're gonna go mid, but
they just got revealed. Puppey scouted him out. He knew, and
well,
now Dendy, can he make his retreat? The slow there is there from Time Walk, and Banana will find the opening, but he's tanking tower shots. If they don't kill him past Banana, might be the trade. The Eidolons come in. One more right click from anything would be enough to get the kill. Banana barely makes it out, but well, bullet dodge. Dendy's gonna bullet Bottle Crow, and the supports really have no choice but to go back to base.
Yeah, I think if there was any time lock out of Hao for any of his 3 hits, would have been a for sure kill, because the damage output gets significantly higher when you do get that time lock. But that was not the case. Dendy survives the gank, and the lucky roam here from Puppey was able to reveal that smoke. I think that was a key thing.
Newbee, this is really costly for Newbee. It's not like they're roaming with like a Shadow Demon Lina or something. They're roaming with an Ancient Apparition Rasta. These heroes need their level 6, and they need it quickly, especially, I would say, well, actually both heroes. Shadow Shaman to take the towers, and the Ancient Apparition to make the Chronospheres effective.
I think it's not as bad. This game, Xiao might be a little bit trouble on the bottom. No,
the other thing is they're not stacking the jungle for the
yes,
that's
the thing.
Other
I think that's the biggest issue, is that Xiao, like once you get the jungle stack, Xiao will go into the jungle and free up a lane for you. But since you're not stacking the jungle, Xiao has nowhere to go, and thus you can't take Xiao's lane a little bit later on. So look towards the support doing just that. You can see that Banana is stacking the jungle now. It's a little bit late though, because generally Xiao could get an 8-minute blink if you stack well enough, and at this point I don't think he will have an 8-minute blink.
This is a bit of a concern here, as Navi in some ways are running a 4-hero farming lineup with the Enigma, and you can already see they've got 4 heroes farming well. Wraparound comes through mid from Kuroki, but he walks right into Banana, gets off the stun first. Are they going to be able to stop this bench? Time walk forward. Already used the stun. They need the shackles. They need a bash. He's too slow. The Shadow Shaman. Oh, that piss poor base move speed, not enough.
Or just one bash, man. That's 2 ganks in a row where if Hao got a bash, they would get a kill.
Yeah,
but
the luck's not with them.
No, back in mid lane here, Hao taking a little bit of chain harass from Dendy.
There's some aggression bottom lane. Xiao will dive for both. He finds the first blood. What a mess for Navi. Oh no. Razor getting solo killed by a bat.
That should not happen. That really should not happen.
Especially after he had a lot of help from Kuro early
And look at Xiao's gold. I was just saying, man, he was not going to get a blink anytime soon. He's at 1800 gold. At this point, I'm just going to say, I'm going to go to jungle. Forget Tranquil, forget Magic Stick. I'm going to go straight blink. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
He's got 1800 gold in 5 minutes. And as bad as, I mean, I wouldn't say the lanes look awful for Newbee, but they don't look fantastic,
no.
right? I'd say mainly because the supports had a bad start. The cores are actually doing fine. But with back getting this fast of a blink, all of a sudden, you start killing off cores with that lasso, and everyone catches up in a hurry.
Yep. What do you think the first gank is going to come towards to if you have to blink on the bat?
If Ember's not 6 yet, he's the one to go for, but I imagine he'll be 6 by that point. And
well, here's the thing, though.
Then you even consider, Tide's going to be, I don't know.
I think
there's no great targets.
Even with Ember at 6, you could just lead off with the Chronosphere. Now you do have to land. Oh, back in mid lane here, Hao's gonna eat a Malefice. He's gonna time walk out. Yeah, he's not completely out of mana, but you can Chrono first, and then have him in the edge of the Chrono, such that you could, you know, follow up with the lasso. But Blink is online. We'll see what Xiao is gonna gank first. Also, probably want to throw a smoke onto him so he could gank much easier.
Yeah, when he goes back, he always buys a smoke. Someone might buy one for him at one of the supports even. And, well, if he wants to wait for one, he is going to be waiting for a while. Purchase of Clarity, smoke. There's your smoke, and away we go. Xiao, he's been called the director in the past. Actually, not because he directs the action, but because he scripts the game to make it exciting, where his team throws and then they catch up. That was the old running joke with the Chinese netizens. Might be a dive top lane. No, nothing doing. Hao is the one being pursued out mid. He has stick charges here. He's got to turn to get a bash. If he gets a bash, Dendy's going down. Now the time walk forward, and Dendy's overextended. He's going to pay with his life. Navi, 2. avoidable kills, especially that one. Dendy thought he had him, but the stick charges just caught him off guard, and of course a little backtrack never hurts along the way.
Avoidable kills, get it? Back in the mid lane, Puppey's gonna get dragged under the tower. TP's gonna come in right now. Tower not really helping out in terms of focusing the move. Is gonna bust out the big damage. Easy kill here from Newbee. And like you said, the cores are just having a grand old time, getting solo kills, Moo teleporting in for a lot of experience. And guess what? The supports now are getting the carries lanes. Unfortunately, Banana on the bottom lane is not getting too much experience to show for, but Ancient Apparition on the top is getting a little bit.
Honestly, they really should try to have their supports there for these kills, because that would get them a lot more. Dendy now rotates top, and he'll go on Shung. He's squishy, there's the Chrono ready, but he can't get it off because Hal's been ravaged. Is he going to drop that Chrono? He is, but he might just have to run.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, if he got it off first, I think they can turn on Dendy, but just a bit too quick with the chains, interrupted the cast animation, and then the follow-up from the Ravage was there. Well played by Na'Vi.
Xiao's kind of in an awkward position right now. He does have the Blink Dagger. Let's see if he can give chase. No,
they just want to secure the stack. They do not want Na'Vi stacking
here.
Creeps.
What a shackle. It's going to go Kurogi. A two-man whirling death here. Funnick's going to get caught out. No more Ravage to be used here. Hadouken missing on Funnick, but that would not miss.
Why did they stick around? They already had used Ravage. They knew Newbee had quite a few heroes there. They'd spotted the bat. The Void had been seen earlier in the lane, and they knew at least one support was there. That was pretty surprising. Meanwhile, Moo nearly dying to Dendy rejoins the fray, and maybe this is why. They thought they had Dendy to join them. He's looking for another kill on Moo. Can he get in range for a Sleight of Fist? Can't quite find the distance. Well, they at least get a bit of a trade here. Now pursued out Hal, but he doesn't really have the mana. If anyone he's going to get, it's going to be Xiao 8 while Sangcheng is dove mid. But it's Dendy, who may be in trouble now. Does he have a Spirit available? He'll drop the chains. He'll keep on running back. And now Puppey will make his way out as well. Newbee's overextended. It's their turn to turn around, and they will feed. That was... There's a lot of overextensions this game, though. I mean,
normally, I don't like to use the word feed, but that's exactly it.
Everyone could... they all could just back, but they just keep on forcing the issue.
I just like to remind everybody that these two teams are essentially playing for their tournament lives. They can lose a game and still stay in the tournament, but, you know...
Especially Newbee. Yeah. A loss here means I think they have to play tiebreaker.
We might be in a little bit of trouble. Black Hole's going to be used, and Moo's going to be dead. Shock's going to come in from and Kurogi. Will get stunned. Are we going to have a Chrono? No Chrono just yet, and he's just bashing away. The bash will hit. One more hit will do it. Kurogi, before he dies, he throw out a nuke. How? A lot of trouble. Stick charge. We'll use it right now. Can he jump back out? Here comes Xiao jumping back in. He wants Puppey, and Puppey's going to get burned down under the fire. Funnick missing that anchor smash. Are they going to get Funnick as well? Yes, they are, I think. A couple more anchor smashes.
One more right click. Oh, goodness. Now Dendy comes in. He's going to get Sangcheng. Here's the trade, I believe. Sleight of Fist secures the kill. It's a bloody start on a bloody day. Well, 13 kills in 10 minutes. Na'Vi are leading now. 3,000 gold, 1,000 experience. They've taken one tower. And I think the big thing here that's kind of been lost is that Newbee have been fighting 5-on-4.
Yeah,
while Hobos has just been free farming bottom lane.
That is a big thing. Like, I think if you are Newbee, you want to slow the game down. All you really care about is getting level 6 on Banana and slowly widowing tier 1 towers and get a go advantage. You don't want to take these fights because early game fighting against the Ember Spirit is not where you want to be. And sure, yes, Na'Vi has long cooldown ultimates such as Ravage and the Black Hole, but really you don't need those ultimates to win these early game engagements, especially if Newbee's diving out of position like that. So
well, they've got Chrono now. Ancient Apparition Ice Blast also online, and Shadow Shaman, if they kill a core or two, he's going to hit level 6, although right now he's not even 5. But yeah, they want to fight with the Chrono. They also know the Black Hole won't be available for some time. Still 100 seconds to go, and they jump in. They find a Chrono, but it's not a great one, and Funnick can wrap around this. He'll let the Ravage fly. It connects on 3. Much better than the Chrono that started it. Havos will pay, but the turn is there, and now Xiao 8 marches in. Dendy here as well. He zips out. He gets cold feet, and he will retreat. Almost had to kill in the void. Now Funnick with no Ravage, no way out. It's Moo cleaning up. It's a triple already. He wants an ultra. There's a spirit for Dendy. He can make his way out of this one. In fact, he may be able to turn on Moo. No stick charges. Not enough magic damage to kill Dendy. Just kidding. There it is. Sangcheng finishes the job. 3 fall for Na'Vi. And Hal.
On the back,
I don't know how he got back in there.
He sees Hal coming into the left. Hal trying to juke it out. No way to make it up there. And Dendy, that was a costly buyback. But
how did Hal end up back in the fight?
No, he had a spirit right there, and the spirit saw Hal moving through. He's like, well, you're right there with no health.
No.
Buy back.
I mean, like he was here and retreating, and then somehow he ended up all the way over here with like 50 health. That's the part that we didn't catch on the camera.
He was just jumping back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in the end... it's a win for Newbee after that. I think without the Void dying there, that's a great fight for Newbee.
Yeah, I think they got the tier 1
They did have to
tower.
buy back on Dendy, though. That's the one thing that we have to keep in mind.
Well, the early game buybacks isn't actually that bad because, you know, it's not that costly. And if you look at Dendy, he's well towards his drums. Actually, though, Ember Drums is not exactly the best build. It feels like it's one of those builds that
I think it's fine this game. They have other damage sources, and
it's
Ember
fine,
doesn't need
but
to get big now.
it's not optimal, right? You really want to just get a battle for it early.
No, optimal in the sense that, like, if you're getting a Battle Fury first, it's normally because you're stomping.
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, obviously it's optimal to be stomping, but I don't think that makes the build bad per se.
Okay. Well, then D's gonna come around and see Moo.
See, like, their lineup just has such good mid-game. I feel the drums allow them to just take advantage of what they're best at.
Oh, they see Sandstorm. This is a dead AA.
Gets caught out by Dendy in the woods. Is there follow-up available?
Okay.
The lasso could come through, but he spirits. He tries to run. Ravage cooling down for 30 seconds. They need to finish Dendy. They will. That's a dieback in essence. Now Funnick could be next, but how Kronos then realizes this is too much.
Oh, they
don't
want to
fight
dive
it
here.
off.
Drums being activated on Havos. I'm not sure diving into the tier 1 is a good idea, but there is no Chronosphere to be used.
Dire's middle
This is
tower
before
is under
Newbee get
attack.
their mech as well. A good time for Newbee to fight, but little do they know, the mech of Newbee is 20 gold away.
Well, 20 go and a courier delivery away, and that could be a long time because courier is nowhere near in the base. Looks like it's going to be Arcane Beats
Dire's
purchase
top
per
tower
banana.
is under attack.
Well, here comes the
Radiant's
push,
bottom
Newbee.
tower is
They want to
under
fight
attack.
now. Black hole available, though they are a bit short on mana for it, but stick
Dire's
charges
top tower
and the soul ring would give Puppy enough.
Yeah, Black Hole and Ravage. I think Na'Vi could actually bully Newbee around.
And they almost have Blink on Funnick as well.
I think the most key thing to talk about is that Xiao 8, as K-Pop Toasters pointed out earlier, has one of the quickest Blink 4-stab timing. And that, in theory, should means that they have all of these free killing opportunity, but for now, it's actually Na'Vi to me that's leading the way with their 2 big ultimates.
Na'Vi has 3 ways to counter-initiate. Swap, which isn't great at level 1, but they also have Ravage, Black Hole, and even Ember can kind of. Here they go. They will find the bench to start the fight. They know if they don't lasso him, he's going to turn it around with the swap, and they'll clean him up. Now a drum charge gets popped. There's a Ravage at the ready. Are they going to dive the tower? No. Don't want to commit to this one. Na'Vi, they think better of it. They will retreat for now. But they took a tier 1. They lost Avenge. It's still not a terrible trade. The one hero that you have to be a little concerned about, though, is Dendy. He's still doing well in terms of farm, but can't afford to be dying multiple times in just a few fights as this game goes on. Those deaths matter a lot more as we get
Radiant's
later.
bottom
Yeah,
tower
Ember is a
is
hero
under
that's
attack.
not too good when you're playing from behind. And I don't want to say he is playing from behind right now, but with the buyback and death, I think with one more death,
Yeah.
he is going to be
He's
playing
fine
from
now.
behind.
It's
Yeah.
more just if he dies again, then he's in trouble.
Yeah.
And later on, I think Ember struggles this game. When Void gets the Mask of Madness, he can solo kill the Ember in a Chronosphere.
I really think it depends on where the initiation come from. If the enemy team is being Ravage and Black Hole, then I think being an Ember is absolutely fine. But I definitely see your point. And I think the biggest concern is, again, back to the Batrider, that he has Force and Blink. And look at the cooldown. It's already done, and they see Havos. And let's see if they're going to find Havos, because Havos does sense again coming his way, and he's backing off.
Oh no, he's backing in right into the Showwade's waiting arms. They'll let the ice blast
no.
fly. It actually doesn't connect.
Black
but
Hole.
that might turn it. Havos will still fall, but they may get some trades here. They'll find 2. I think they would have gotten them anyway, but it just made it a bit easier. Now Sungshun on the run. No way he makes it out. One more right click secures the kill, and now they look for Showwade as well. Brought down by Kuroki. A 3-for-1. Well, this is not a good trade.
That was a very key misplay coming out from Xiao. What he was supposed to do is force staff back to his allies.
Radiant's
Because
middle
that's
tower
what
is under attack.
Shanshan expected. He was like, okay, I'm going to Ice Blast right here because you're going to force staff here. But that didn't happen. The Ice Blast missed. And Razor lived for a long time. They might have still lost like 1 or 2 as a result of that Black Hole. But I think at the very least, Xiao would have made it out.
Yeah, Showwade would have made it out. I think the support still died there.
Yeah.
So it would have been a 2-for-1, which is still... and hey, this Bats had a great start, so it's a very yo-yo type of kill. When he dies, the string goes the other way, and Na'Vi get a lot out of that death. Speaking of Na'Vi, we're going to
Radiant's
see
top
Puppy
tower
work towards
is
a
under
pipe
attack.
this game. Really nice against the Ancient Apparition. Already picked up his Hood of Defiance, and they're getting tanky in general. Double drums, which generally isn't considered the best, but it does give you a decent amount of HP for the cost. And now an Ogre Club on Havos. He'll work his way towards the BKB. Dendy can begin building his Battle Fury, and
not just that, look over to Puppey. He's got the mech finish, he's looking towards a pipe.
Yeah,
This is one of the earliest pipe, and that's going to render essentially the AA useless. Now, with that said though, a lot of the pair damage is going to be coming out from Timbersaw, and that isn't blocked.
There's
by
still
pipe.
H apparition though, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
How though? How's the one they want?
Well, How's
Can they
fairly
find a
tanky
mid?
at this point. I'm not sure whether they could kill him.
If the backtracks are strong, but if they get this first jump, it's going to be tough.
I mean, what do you jump with? You need
Blink
to jump
Ravage.
with Ravage.
You
yeah.
got to Blink Ravage.
And trying to blink Ravage against a Void. I mean,
That's so risky.
you do get the kill, probably, but it's like you can't really push.
God
after
forbid
that.
you don't get the kill, and then he chronos you, and you've blown everything to kill the Void who's gotten off his chrono.
Yeah.
Then you just throw your advantage. And Na'Vi decide, we're going to play it safe. We're up 7k gold, 2k experience.
Is under attack.
Let's just slow and steady push this one out.
I'm not sure whether you can slow and steady push. The Bat Rider with the Force Staff.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing is...
And they're thinking the same thing, so they back off, but little do they know, they're directly under a Dire Observer Ward.
You really need a level 11 bench to counteract against a Blink Force Bat. And Kuroki, despite getting kills here and there, is not really at that level yet.
Yeah. He's also, I want to point out his skill build, because the standard way to build Venge was to max Magic Missile once they changed the missile a few years ago, so it's scaled with levels in terms of the stun duration. But nowadays, we've seen a little bit more movement towards Wave of Terror or Vengeance Max, and I'd say most players I've seen have gone Vengeance, but he's actually gone for the Wave of Terror this game.
I think maxing the aura this game actually is not too good because a big part of their damage is coming from Razor. And Razor doesn't deal damage based on his physical damage, right? He deals it mostly through Eye of the Storm and then slowly by linking the damage away. So I think Terror actually increased your Eye of Storm damage quite a bit.
Also, it's nice with the Ember, either way.
Exactly.
Whichever one you go for, it's going to work well with the Ember. They might find out Puppey here, though. He's deep in their jungle, and Moo's got the scent. Puppey, completely airball shot from there. Now he's going to Timber Chain through. He actually connects with the Whirling Blade, but there's backup on the way. Puppey is going to have some friends to help him out here.
Puppey's thinking about that Black Hole.
Doesn't have a blink to chase.
Go back it up for now.
You know, when the enemy Enigma can just go solo farm your jungle, sure, he's got wards, but he was actually completely alone. And not be scared and also walk away with full HP, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, I really appreciate the way that Navi's playing right now. It's like standard Navi back in 2 years ago. Like, they just want to fight all day, every day. And even though the enemy team have things like Chronosphere, Bat Rider, they're not afraid to play aggressive. And here comes the tier 2 push.
Xiao Wei, he wants to catch a retreating hero, and he finds Kuroki to start it. The Chrono dropped down, so then nobody can get close. Ancient Apparition ult comes through as well, and Kuro is dealt with. The A ult, only clipping Dendi.
Even though the Chrono didn't really catch anybody, that was like a power cog Chrono, right? It just blocked everybody out. So essentially a free kill.
Funnick could have Blink Ravage, but there would have been no one else who could come join.
They just want to contest this power.
Was it good enough, though? They're giving up a tier 2 for that, so they get Avenge, but it comes across as a tier 2. That's a pretty expensive trade for
Yeah,
Newbee.
it is. Normally when you lose a support hero like that, you're like, alright, let's back off. We'll push later, but Na'Vi correctly recognized that there is no more ultimates. Also,
I like that trade for Na'Vi, honestly.
It is a great trade for Na'Vi. Also, I do want to say that since Navi's playing so aggressive on the enemy side of the map, it doesn't give any room for Banana to do what Banana normally likes to do.
Yeah, split push with the ward.
Yeah, split push with the ward, because you constantly have to defend your own towers. So you can see Banana is slowly inching forward, but he never will get to that tier 2 and drop down ward, because here comes Na'Vi again. They really want to fight.
Newbee, there's too much vision for Na'Vi in their jungle right now. They actually dropped down a sentry, hoping for a Hell Ward, but there's not one there. The ward's off a bit to the south, and it sees everything, really. This jungle's not safe.
The initiation, though, from
Banana did start split pushing, though. He goes to the bottom lane, and now they go on Xiao Wei. He gets pulled back in, but not before the Ravage. Oh, the Razor slow as well. Really set him up, and now they reel in Moo. He's next on the list. Na'Vi crushing through, find more, a double chain, a double zip from Dendi. Can he finish the job? How's on the way out? He's got a time walk in 1 second, not enough. He falls 4-0. What a disaster.
Well, going for that engagement without Chronosphere is not going to cut it, because we saw you need to Chrono so that, the enemy team can't come in. But big Ravage coming up from Funnick. That was a 3-man Ravage into a 3-man Anchor Smash, and everybody just dropped. I don't think Rax is in trouble yet, but if they lose any more hero now, they might just lose Rax. Straight up.
Rax might be in trouble.
I mean,
Void's dead for 20. He does a buyback, but if they thought they could defend, they'd be buying back while the tower's still up. Well, they're definitely giving up range. They may be giving up the melee, Lumi. We're only 21 minutes in.
Ice Blast is coming in right now. They also have the Chakram, and we'll see if they can defend.
Well, they start with a Hex on Dendi. Can they shackle him up to follow this? There's no Ravage. There's no Black Hole. There's not many ways to cancel, but it looks like Dendi's made his way out. Now he slides on through, and he gets aggressive, jumping towards Mu. Where's that Void? Where's that Chrono? He's coming from the south, and he nails 4! Ancient Aboriginal! Boom! Shakalaka, but isn't enough. Puppy on the run. Still steady strong. They bring in Dendi. Reel him in. Bang him down. Newbee clean house. 3 have fallen. But the buyback. This might turn. Dendi rejoins the fight. He brings down 1. He looks for more. He might get bashed and fall. He's still standing. But the cold feet comes through. The Timber Chain whiz. They still clean him up. That's a dieback from Dendi. It's a Bat Rider's going to refi as well. And well, at the end of the day, the melee's low, and it looks like Na'Vi can clean it up. Havo stands strong. He right-clicks for all he's worth, and the melee will drop. What a chrono, but they're just so far behind.
It looks like Xiaoei's going to go for the solo kill. No TP out from Havos. He's going to be dead, but well worth the cost. It was a buyback from Ember Spirit. He rejoined the fight. They have lost entire enemy team, and I gotta say, Newbee got a lot out of that fight as well, but playing 1 racks down when you need so much farm, such as on heroes like Void, on heroes like Timbersaw, as well as, I guess just Void, right? He's the only one that really needs the farm. So, are they really affected by that mega creeps on the top?
I mean, I think they were going to lose Rax regardless. Like, that was a perfect chrono, and they still lost Rax, right? So, given that they were going to lose Rax regardless, that's the best trade Newbee can make in this situation.
Right.
Taking Roche as well would be fantastic, but...
And they're doing that right now.
They have Ravage. Na'Vi have Ravage. They actually almost have Refresher up on Funnick, and that is a problem. I
think that's the scary part. The fact that you gave away so many early towers, and here comes the entirety of Na'Vi. Havos is teleporting into the mid-tier 1. That mid-tier 1's still alive. Such a big advantage for Na'Vi in that particular case.
If they don't take this Roche now, all they've done is softened it up for Na'Vi.
Well, all they've done is waste their massive rewards, which they really need.
The Roche is at below half. Na'Vi say, great, free Roche, but this is where Director 8 can turn the tide. They've got the Chrono. Ancient Apparitional online as well, and Na'Vi know that around the pit, this is the death zone for whoever gets caught in there, and they don't want to be the ones caught. They sit back and they wait. They don't have to force it, Lumi. They can push in the mid lane, let the top flow through, and only once they see Newbee retreat.
Are they wrapping from behind? Yes, they are, but they're going to run right into... How does have the Chrono? They see Havos? Are they going to go for it?
Oh, you don't want to go on Havos. You got to find someone who's a bigger target. Damage stolen. Will be forced to time walk out.
And here's the thing,
but they dodge the bullet.
If you're Na'Vi, you just wait. Because top is pushing in, and there's a pain from Newbee. They recognize it as well. They have to defend it eventually. Either that or Newbee have to take a rushed fight. I'm not sure either of those scenarios is too good for Newbee.
Well, Dendi comes up on the high ground. Xiaoei's going to find it, but he gets chained! Dendi too quick! And he's already used his force. Well, they can't follow it up.
Yeah. And also, Firefly is going to be off for a while now. So I think if you're Na'Vi now, you just go back into the pit and finish that Roche, because Newbee has to defend top, they have to defend mid. And yep, that's exactly what they do.
Wow, they're not going to give this up without a fight. They will come back to the pit and they will look to engage, but Na'Vi will just back off. They'll keep on waiting. They don't have to force a fight in the pit. There's no reason to take that risk.
Yeah, playing with 1 Rax up is such a big advantage. How posting up, thinking about dropping that.
And it's the top Rax as well. It's the farthest lane from the Roche. That's the ideal scenario for a Radiant team looking to contest.
Here comes Xiaoei.
He is perched, and actually Dendi's the one that, well, he sees him, but he really doesn't want to go on him.
I mean, it's one thing to grab him, but it's another actually to send them to your allies. You can see that Havos is right there, but they have no confidence in killing Havos using all of their spells. Because he's got 1800 health with the Black King Bar.
Newbee playing on a nice edge. A loss here means almost certainly into tie breaks, and that is not where you want to be. Anything can happen there, Lumi.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Ags is coming soon for Havos, and Na'Vi continue to tank up. I feel that's the best plan at this point. You're up against a really strong combo, but if you live through the Chrono, Newbee are toast. They are not going to win a fight beyond that, unless they just pick you off with the lasso 3, 4, 5 times as this game drags on. And so they build tanky. They get the pipe. The BKBs come out on Havos a lot. He's had it for some time.
Yep.
And the Ags is being worked on. In fact, I believe nearly complete. It is. Dendi, the one squishy one, I would say. But, well, you get a refresher on Funnick as well. And and Newbee can just deathball this. It's going to be very tough for Newbee to win these fights.
With that said, though, I felt like Newbee played it really well for the past minute because essentially they were playing without Mass Serpent Ward, and they were able to kind of push Na'Vi away without them forcing a fight onto you. That's a pretty big deal because they knew that your Mass Serpent Ward was down because they saw it into the pit. And Banana, since, has able to pick up a Blink Dagger. I'm not sure how much that's going to do, really, because it's going to be type blinking into you and dropping a Ravage on top of you, but maybe you could blink away and then come back and make a play.
Good rhyme.
I'm not sure what I said.
Luminum, warming, blink away, and come back and make a play. Okay. Alright. Yay. We'll take a breather here. Na'Vi, not in any hurry. Top lane getting pushed out. They're going to give Newbee a chance to recover a bit, but at the same time, they're waiting on Tide Refresher, and this is the item that can just blow up in the game.
I'm surprised that Banana is actually not going top with Moo right now, because if you just drop a Mass Serpent Ward on the top lane, if you force them to either make a TP or you get a free T1.
That is what MMY was doing for DK every single Shadow Summer game.
I'm surprised that Banana is not
Way
doing
Too
that.
Sexy also does that a lot.
It's a free tower. It's a free advantage, and maybe they feel like they need the Mass Serpent Ward
for the Roche fight. That's the only thing. Is maybe they just feel if they don't have them for the Roche, they're gonna lose the fight. But well, meanwhile, Na'Vi not giving up tower gold. They've only lost one tower in 28 minutes. Newbee will smoke, and they'll beat a path towards the bottom lane. But Na'Vi are waiting, and we're going to see a big old team fight momentarily. Who's going to get the jump? There's a haste on Dendi. How will Chrono, but it's only on Havos, and Funnick, way better. Ravage #1 will fly. Does he have the refresher? Not just yet, but I don't know if they need it. Na'Vi already have found a few. Black Hole was there, but it got canceled instantly by Puppey. Might have been a self-cancel even. There's a Timber Chain out for Moo. He's on the retreat. He'll self-deny with the Bloodstone, and Newbee scatter. But they can't escape. How will fall as well. There's already a blink on Kuro. And well, Lumi, that's 4 dead. 1 denied, but nonetheless.
Yeah, that Chrono only catching Havos, which by the way, Havos was able to get off his Eye of Storm first, so I think the Void lost more HP.
Razor is one of the worst heroes to Chrono if you let him get off his spells. Yeah. Honestly, it's pretty hard not to.
It's interesting that Newbee took the fight there, because they really don't need to take the fight there. You could take a fight next to your tier 2 tower, but they made a choice and it didn't look good. And I really don't think they could win at this point now. Because Na'Vi will now get the free rages. I say that though, I slap this coming in.
There's a jump. They found out Chao 8 with the Ember Spirit zip in initiate. This means no Batrider steal, at least not an easy one. He still comes in, the Roche drops low, but hasn't committed just yet. Another chains through from Dendi. That Blink Dagger just can't get it off. Now he Spirits in again. They want to kill off the bat, they'll find the opening. And it forces the retreat from Newbee. Banana on the back foot, Havos zoning him out. Moo just trying to stall this one, but Na'Vi, they just seem to have 5 together more often in these fights, and they keep on coming out on top.
Well, with that said, they are still doing a very good job keeping the Roshan alive for Newbee, so maybe all is not lost, but they just gave away 5 kills in total, so not sure whether their item and the experience to catch on. You see that Eye of Storm being used quite confidently to push down this tier 2 tower. Na'Vi could just wait and back off, wait for the cooldown of that ult, and re-push again.
This time they also have, well, now they've got the refresher. He got it and just used it immediately, but didn't actually have the double Ravage in the fight. So if they want, they could just wait for the refresher to cool down and then they can go. But I don't know if Na'Vi feel they need it. They really seem to want to force the issue. They're honestly a bit low here. Havos is sitting below half. He does have BKB, but you can shatter while magic immune. And
is under attack.
I mean, they have a mech and pipe, so essentially they're all a lot healthier than they actually are.
Yeah, well, pipe was cooling down, and mech as well, but they're about to get the mech back.
Yeah. So we are in an interesting point where I think if Newbee is able to sneak a Roche, they could probably come even in the next fight. All you really want to do if you're Newbee, you just play for the late game at this point.
Yeah, you get a BKB on the bat, you look towards Boots of Travel perhaps, Mask of Madness, something like that. The Void needs to get more damage items, and you tank up on moves. They're going triple BKB on their cores, by the way. As they jump in mid, they've initiated, and it's on to how they go. He gets cleaned up by Dendi. What a great jump there from Kuro.
He had the BKB, he could have just easily activated the BKB, blocked the magic missile, and jumped out, but
he just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. It's too quick of a reaction, and I think that will give the Roshan away.
Now Newbee, marching through the bottom lane.
Wow, they're actually going to fight for it. This is... I mean... It's
too late. Now you're going to claim Roshan now. Double Ravage ready in 9 seconds. The pipe's online. They're going to zip up the high ground, and a long-range slug connects. Sungshun wanted to D-ward. He pays with his life. And Newbee, it's falling apart for them now. Down 15k gold, 13k experience, but more importantly, it looks like they're about to be down 2 lanes of Rex, and that is a near insurmountable deficit. The items aren't there. The base won't be there for much longer. And a loss here means they're almost definitely going to tie breaks.
I think where do you think this game fell apart for Newbee? Because they had like a 6-minute blink dagger, like 11-minute blink and 4-step on Batrider. It was such a big advantage.
Their supports were, well, I think for one thing the Timber saw, we haven't felt his impact, and I think we only would if the Void's Chronos were fantastic. And Hal had one really great one top, the rest have not been quite enough. They've only hit 1, maybe 2 heroes. The other thing is the supports, honestly. Those early roams really set them back. And I feel this is the part in the game where you'd love to have a separate closing in on an Aghanim Scepter. They haven't taken towers either. Yeah, that goes back to the Shadow Shaman. So I think those 3 factors. Underleveled supports who failed their ganks early, a Void who hasn't hit his Chronospheres perfectly in conjunction with the Timbersaw who only offers you a lot if the Chronos are hit, and then, well, not taking towers. Those are the 3 things that have really hurt Newbee. That being said, they're going to fight. Ravage number 1. Funnick will leap in. He looks for Ravage number 2. He lets it fly. How will BKB dodge it at the least? But Havos cleans up the backliners. The Timber's down, and How just doesn't hit hard enough. He barely tickles them. Xiaowei will be next. 3 have fallen. It's about to be 4. Newbee won't even wait for it. They'll GG out. How could be the safety for now, but the death follows him inevitably. And Newbee, their fate is not secure, Lumi. One of the favorites coming into CI4. Dominated most of the other top Chinese teams, had the best of IG, DK at times. They might not even make it to the main event. They might not even make it to phase 3.
I think they have decent tiebreaks, and they're in a decent position to, beat on the Empires or the Mals or whoever that's trying to rise up. But Newbee is in a little bit of danger. Before we sign out, I think really what also got them the defeat is the fact that the mid-game trades hasn't been that good. Remember that jungle fight where the 3-man smoked? They got the